Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Negative Painting with Bob. And today I want to share with you this book, Breath as Prayer, Calm Your Anxiety, Focus Your Mind and Renew Your Soul by Jennifer Tucker. And it's an awesome book. I've already read it. And what you do is she gives you these scriptures, and you if you have anxiety or depression or anything, you breathe in part of the scripture and then you breathe out the rest of the scripture. So see, this one is you inhale to the count of 4. The Lord is my shepherd, and then you exhale, I have all that I need. And it's supposed to calm and relax you, and so that you're not full of anxiety. And so I thought I'd share with you. Breathe deep and know the good shepherd is with you. You have everything you need. God is your shepherd. And that's just the first one. And I recommend this book. It's amazing. Okay, and so today we're doing another pond picture, if you will. And I have, it's New York Central Art Supply 100% cotton watercolor block. And this paper is just totally amazing. I totally recommend getting some of this paper. It is kind of expensive, but if you have the extra money, it is worth getting. It's like top quality. I like it anyway. And then the brushes I'll be using is 6 Artegria round, my Artegria brushes, and then a 10-inch round, and there's that one. And then this pencil I've been using in my videos, perhaps you've seen it. It is a Dollar and Rowney HB Simply Sketching Pencil. And the paint we'll be using today is Da Vinci's Embracing Opacity. My Da Vinci Embracing Opacity watercolor set. And it's actually Denise's Embrace Opacity Da Vinci palette. Denise is an artist. Her last name, I think, is Snowden, Snodden. She paints animals and nature. It's fantastic. And they've created this. She created, well, Da Vinci let her create this palette, and they put her name to it. And every color here, except for the Titan Buff, is opaque. And the Titan Buff is more transparent, because obviously it's well, the way they made it. But these colors are opaque. And how do you know a color is opaque? Well, in order to show you that, no, hang on. Here we go. What you do is you make a little chart like this. You have squares and you put some pencil down or marker or what have you. And you see if you take your colors, like the Titan Buff there, and you paint, and if the paint shines through, if the dark line shines through that you created, it is transparent. But if the dark line does not shine through, it is opaque. And it's good to know this so that when you do your layers in negative painting, you will know that, will I see that other color underneath, or will I not see that color underneath? And it's amazing. See, and also as I did here, this color here, Stormy Blue, that's this one up here, Stormy Blue. See how dark it is? Even if you paint it light, it can be transparent. So even an opaque color, if you put more water with it, can be more transparent, can become more transparent. But more pigment, the more of the opacity you will see. I hope that makes sense. So just because the color is opaque doesn't necessarily mean you can't make it transparent. All right, and that's that color. See, it all comes up together like that. My granddaughter gave me the bluey sticker, so I put it there. And there's that. And I will be using that in this painting. And I showed you my brushes, I showed you the pencil. We did the book already. And I'll show you my waters, what I use for water. This is just a regular jam jar for the dirty water. And a hyacinth jar for the clean water. You put the hyacinth bulb inside. This actually, I do believe, came with a hyacinth bulb. Of course, it's purple because my wife likes purple, so it would have to be purple. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use the whoops, if I can hang on to it. I'm going to use the 10-inch Artegria round brush. It's round because it's round. That's why they call them round, in case you didn't know that. And I have a dragonfly, water lily, and water lily pads. So it's another pond picture, as I call it. And it's a closer up, not like we did the last one, which was like kind of like you're gazing at the whole pond. This is a close-up of a certain section of the pond. And let's see, what color do I want to start with? Probably, see, I have my little list here so I can tell you what color I'm going to use. The chromium oxide green will be my beginning color. And like I did last time, I'm going to color right over the pad, the leaf. And I drew all this on ahead of time to save time. And I'm looking forward to your comments underneath the video. Let me know how I'm doing. Hopefully you're enjoying it. You all seem to be liking the video. See, and with a watercolor block, you can move it around. You don't have to use tape. I'm not really one to use tape. I have, but when you take the tape off, the tape tends to rip the paper. So I don't tape the edges of the paper down to the table. Because some people like to have like that white frame around it, and I've done that. And the trick they told me about the trick of using the hair dryer on the tape to loosen it, but sometimes that doesn't work. That's supposed to like loosen the glue, but on the tape. But I find it does the exact opposite. I don't have good luck with it. And so I don't do that as much. I like using the block. See, and I'm going lighter at the top here, up at the top. And see, there's a captured negative here within the flower. See, and you just take water and you squish so there's no hard edges. You don't want a hard edge. See, that could be a hard edge, but it creates shadow, which is kind of cool. See, and then you just spread it out like that. And see that I got a lot of, oh, I didn't paint, I painted around that one. Well, that's okay. I painted around one. I'm crazy today. I'm crazy. Crazy for feeling so blue. I hope you got to see my Christmas in July video. That I released earlier today. So this is, yeah, I'm releasing 2 videos in one day. Imagine that. I've been a busy little Bob. I've been a busy little Bob today. There we go. Maybe this right here is too dark. I don't like that. There we go. Uh-oh. Alrighty then. I know I'm quoting movies here, The Mask. Okay, and hope if I move the fan, because that noise in the background is the fan. Suppose if I tilt it up more, it'll dry my paint as I paint. That'll be nice. Okay, now I need more, and I'm going to switch pencils. I decided I'm going to use this. It's a little darker, 4B graphite acrylic. That means it's water. I can wash the pencil away with water so you don't see the pencil marks. Because technically, I haven't been saying this in my previous videos, and I apologize. When you paint negative painting, you shouldn't be able to see the pencil marks. And so if you use a water-based one that the water will wash away, this is a Faber-Castell graphite aquarelle, made in Germany, and the water will wash the marks away as you paint. See how that sort of like in the wetness there? That's what this does. And I'm leaving the pencil marks for your benefit so that you can see. But when you do it, try not to use try not to leave your pencil marks. And let's say we go up this way, like that. And that should do. And what color are we going to use? Well, in my palette, in my palette, remember how we did the green? And I'm going to use the cerulean blue in there, but I need more cerulean blue. And see, you get this total different green. And then you paint around. It may be too dark, but you can move it around with the water, with some clean water. See? So that it's not that dark right away. Because we want at least 3 or 4 layers of pads around of the leaf. And we're on our second layer of the leaf. And so it's more green and more blue and more water. See, it's kind of a, just like that. Yes, in the Christmas in July video I did, I used my Karataki paints and ink, and it wasn't really a negative painting idea, but it was Christmas, so why not? See, and then you can come back when it's kind of dry still and put some greenage in there. See this right here, this edge, that's called a hard edge. And we really don't want hard edges. We want to keep it all smooth. Yeah, and so I hope you look into the book there that I shared, Breath as Prayer. It's really amazing to be able to use scripture that way, and then, you know, it helps you relax, calm you. It reminds you that God is in control and that He's your shepherd and He's leading you, and you have nothing to fear. You have everything you could possibly ever need. Why? Because you have Him. Okay, and more. See what the water's doing to the pencil. And then, no. And there's that one, and then we'll put a couple over here. And you just layer it up. Let's see, it's lighter over there. And now, put the pencil over there. Got to make sure you're able to see what I'm doing. There was one video I was like kind of almost off screen, and I apologize for that. See, now it gets kind of darkish. Whoops. I hit the stick holding the camera. It's kind of, in order to get this view that you're getting, I have to have my my camera more or less in my lap. But I know this view is the best because then you're like looking over my head instead of looking across the table at me. So I kind of like this. So it's kind of in the way, but not. So maybe if I put a little more blue there. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And a little more green. Uh-oh, that's too much green. See, and I pat my brush on my paper towel. That's a paper towel. Yeah, when I wash, oh, that's too blue. When I wash my my hands and I dry them on a paper towel, I save the paper towel for this. So this is something I had washed my hands on, I let it dry, and that way I'm recycling, and I use it until I can't use it anymore in my painting. Well, it's a little bluey here. And I don't do that with my wife's. I don't want her germs. No, just kidding. Am I? Yes. Me and the wife has been married for 10 years. Me and Gloria. Yeah, there we go. I think it's looking good. I just have to figure out what color to paint the dragonfly now. Right. And see, as you get going, it gets kind of crowded in the picture. Maybe a little more blue. There, that's the color. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm still just starting out, so if there's something I need to do and I haven't done it, you'll have to let me know. Like I discovered in the Christmas in July video, I forgot to tell you which green and which red I use. For the card, I use Hooker's green and something rose for the red. And there's a number on the back of the Kuretake pans. And I forgot to share that, and I don't know it right off the top of my head. So see, I forget things. Like I said in the first video, oops, sorry, I should make a list, and then I won't forget. That's a good thing for me. Hopefully I remember it. Hey, I'm old. Leave me alone. Okay. Now see when that dries, I could possibly go back in and remove Although it doesn't seem to be moving, does it? Oh my. Maybe it's the paper. How interesting. See, this one's in light. That's why it's not green. See, so it kind of looks natural. Okay, I'm going to mix a little yellow in with the green, I think, now. That would be Hansa Yellow Deep. Like I did in the previous video. See, and that kind of makes it lighter up here. The water's kind of mucky. The pond. I'm talking about the pond water here in the picture. It's kind of mucky, and so the sun's shining up here. Give it a little more lighter up there. Do I want to add more? Why not? I'll add one more layer. See, I've been meaning to use these pencils, but once again, I keep forgetting. I'm old. See, and then maybe that one's like that, and the things underneath, the pie shape, we'll try it. I've never done that before. That's a first. A first for Bob. Maybe I should add one here. It looks empty there. Yeah, that looks better, doesn't it? And we'll put one there as well. Yeah, I've been painting most of my life. I started when I was like around 3. I have a painting hanging on my wall here that I drew and a great uncle painted. And a little blue. More cerulean blue in that, I think, because it's going to be darker down here. Although I like that. I like how that came out. Look at that. That's amazing. And don't know if, I'm sure you're all familiar with country music. I drew when I was 3, or maybe I was 4. There we go. Maybe when I was 4. Lynn Anderson, we had the album Stay There Till I Get There. Well, I drew that cover, and I don't have that. Somehow that, I don't know what happened to that. I probably got lost over the years as we moved. But yeah. I like that darkness here in the green for the water. Hopefully some of you have painted along already. I hope you find it easy. Like I said, if I left something out, let me know, and I'll explain it in the next video if I haven't done something I should have. Or told you something I should have. Yes, this looks good. I like it. I hope you do as well. Like I said, I like how that one came out, and that one, that's kind of cool. See, now I sort of put a little too much yellow in there, but if you blend it, it's all right. Because remember, I wanted it kind of lighter at the top of the painting. And I remembered that. That's why I put more Hansa Yellow Deep. Maybe it's light here. And so this is basically what negative painting is all about. I'm painting, or if you're painting along, you're painting around the positive shape, the leaves, the flower, and the dragonfly being the positive shape. See, and I take clean water, and if I spread that out, that's not so dark right there with that color. See, and you kind of see the blue, you kind of see the green, and you kind of see the yellow. That's what I'm kind of after. And I don't seem to have enough paint here. It seems like I do, but then suddenly I use it up. Maybe if I put more water. That's a little too yellow, I think. Put a little more green. Because it's coming down here. Yeah! See, and then you tap it on the... you can't see. I'm tapping the extra water off onto the paper towel so I don't have too much water on my painting. See, and then even up here I can add water to spread that out. Yeah. And see, that's a little dark there, so I gotta take some of that away. You see how I'm doing that? You just, and then to get rid of that too. And see, you don't want a hard edge with the yellow like there, because you want to preserve maybe some of that dark blue in there. There. I think that's enough for the, kind of wish I stuck with that pencil instead of switching to that other one. That other one was supposed to wash away, and I guess it didn't, did it? Oh well. To experiment. There we go. Oh my goodness. Can't get my tongue to wrap around the words. Alrighty. Now I have to figure out what color. Well, that little thing in the center is where the center of the flower, and that's always yellow, so I'm going to use Soul Shine, my favorite Da Vinci color. Isn't that beautiful? I love that. It's like bright and sunny. Love that color. Uh-oh, my clean water isn't clean water anymore. And then, what can I use for the flower? Well, maybe we can take some Indian red. Oops, you're not seeing that. Sorry. Some Indian red. And if I add water to it, it's kind of an earthy red. Not really a pinky red. And then I take some Titan Buff. Oh, you're not seeing that neither. And you take some Titan Buff and you mix it there. That's kind of pinky. Maybe a little too much Titan Buff there. There. That's the color I'm going to use anyway. And then get the extra water off. See how much water was on there? Wow. Brushes really hold water. Hopefully you're seeing this. I'm looking and I see that you do see it. Last time I used the lilac, and I wasn't kind of pleased with that, but this the Indian red here with the Titan Buff seems to be. See, I got a little too much water. And those are the lower petals. The lower petals. And see, you can make it darker with the Indian red. And see, there's shadow back there or around these leaves and there. And perhaps there, and over here. Yeah. Those, maybe this one is the dark as well. And this back here would be darker. Now, you see, the red and the green sort of goes because it's complementary. There. Now the flower doesn't look too much like a fried egg, does it? Maybe I should. Oh man, hope I didn't screw it up by doing that. Without thinking. There. There. Yeah, you get the idea. Now the dragonfly. Well, you know, I saw a dragonfly the other day, and well, their bodies are kind of black, aren't they? And so, let me get this here. Let's use this Denise's gray right here for the body. See, it's dark, but not too dark. Just a suggestion. Of darkness there. And dragonflies, their wings are clear. So maybe I leave Maybe I use the Titan buff on the wings. Yeah, and there you have it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you for watching.